Today I'm going to showcase the power of Igknights in Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. Okay, so this is the deck. It is basically a bunch of Igknight bodies here, a bunch of pendulum monsters. We got 3 copies of Squire, 3 copies Crusader, 3 copies Temple, 3 copies Paladin, 2 copies of Margrave, 2 copies Cavalier, 1 copy of Galan, 1 copy of Veteran. I think that these ratios are the best we can go for. What is really important is that you play 3 copies of the level 3 and level 4 bodies, and then you play a bunch of level 5 and level 6 bodies. I also played 2 copies of Renault, 2 copies of Firefiend Lady as an extender. Renault is also a tuner, which then lets you go into some of the synchro monsters here. I also played 3 copies of the Sublimation Knight with 1 copy of the Igknight just for the 2 bodies to go into Izodi with them. I also played 2 copies of Tyrion Boo Ain, and this is actually a really good card because number 1, it's a free level 7 body, which is already great. But there is actually an interesting synergy between the Boo Ain and also the Igknight, so you can go Sublimation Knight, also go Igknight, go into Izodi, then you can space summon Boo Ain, target the Igknight, then you can space summon Igknight an additional time, and basically have 4 bodies with it, just with 1 normal summon, which is great. I played 2 copies of the Fenrir. Now initially I didn't play Fenrir and I actually went and played Code Buy, but since Fenrir is a level 7 body for free, you can then go into Renault if you hard drew it, or go into a bunch of other plays, and if you had the Renault you can go into level 8 Synchro for free, and for that reason I just didn't play the Code Buy and I decided to put Fenrir in the deck. I also play 1 copy of Griffith, which is a staple in these warrior decks, and then I play 1 copy of Ignis Phoenix and Majestic Pegasus. Now this is a really interesting combo here. Now Ignis Phoenix, first of all, is also an Igknight card, which is already really good, and also you can pop it with one of your Igknight monsters effects, and you can special summon from the deck your Majestic Pegasus, which then lets you search out the secret village of the spellcasters. And because the Majestic Pegasus is a spellcaster, you are able to then lock your opponent from spell cards, which is really good. From there I play 1 copy of Reinforcements and 2 copies of the Painful Decision, which is just a searcher for the deck for your Igknight monsters and also warrior monsters. 1 copy of the Triple Tactics, which is the only staple that I actually play in this deck, and 2 copies of the Durandal, which is the equip spell you're gonna send to the graveyard with Izodi. For the extra deck I just play 1 copy of Ignis Prominence, 1 copy of Borolot, 1 copy of Burnette Floor. You won't really go into Burnette Floor much, so I would suggest you maybe cut it and put something like Baguska into the deck. You can also go for like another Link monster. I also play 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, 1 copy of Giant Hand, which is a monster effect negation, which is pretty good. Then I play 1 copy of Link Spider because these are a bunch of normal monsters, 2 copies of Izodi, which is standard, 1 copy of IP with Unicorn combo, 1 copy of Beyond the Pendulum for the Pendulum deck, and then the usual 1 Appaloosa, 1 Access Code, and 1 copy of Underworld Goddess. That was it for the deck. Now let's get into some gameplay. Okay, first things first, I want to showcase you guys the combos with this deck. Now there isn't a particular hand that you need with this deck. It's basically what you draw when you just go into things. In that case I went into the Ignis Phoenix. Now I set the Ignis Phoenix and also set the Paladin. I activate the Paladin, pop both of them, search out the Sublimation Knight, which is a normal summon, then space summon from the deck my Majestic Pegasus, activate the effect, search out the secret village of the spellcasters, and discard the equip spell. Now I go and normal summon Sublimation Knight for Igknight, and then we get 2 bodies to go into Izodi, just the same way I did in my warrior combo video, which you can check out in the channel. Links will be in the description. Now activating Izodi, search out the Immortal Phoenix just as a follow-up, then activate second effect, space summon Renault, activate Renault, return the equip spell from the graveyard to the hand, activate it, equip it to Izodi, activate the effect again, search out the Templar because I needed another pendulum body to pendulum summon, then go into Draco Masters of the Tenny just so I have 3 zones to pendulum summon into from my extra deck. Then I summon 3 bodies from my extra deck, and firstly I activate the Templar effect, go into Tyrion Boo Ain, which is an extender, then I go and summon Appaloosa for 2 negates, and then I go and activate Tyrion Boo Ain, targeting the Igknight, equipping the Igknight to it, then I can use Igknight an additional time, space summoning onto the field, go into IP using these 2, and then go into Abyss Dweller using these 2. Now I could go into the Giant Hand here, but I prefer to go into Abyss Dweller since I have Appaloosa, activate the secret village of the spellcasters in the draw phase, activating the Abyss Dweller, and this is basically 2 monster effect negations, 1 removal in the face of Nightmare Unicorn, Abyss Dweller, which is locking your opponent's graveyard, and secret village of the spellcasters, which is locking your opponent's spell card place, and he just proceeded to normal summon, I negated it, and from there it is just pretty much done. He just scooped the game. That is the main combo. Now let's get into the games. Okay, so that hand's actually pretty nice. Now let's start by special summoning Mike Sheriff Fenrir and activate the effect. Hopefully he fires open interruption if he has any. Okay, chaining, wow, he actually asked it. I didn't even think he will do that. This is such a big misplay, but that is great news for me, so now I can play freely. Now let's set to my Pendulum Scales, my Choir, and also my Margrave here. And I'm gonna activate both, and I'm gonna activate the effect of one of them to pop them both and add from deck to hand my Ignis Phoenix, which is one of the best cards in this deck. Now let's set my Crusader to my Pendulum Scale here, and let's also set the Ignis Phoenix. I'm gonna activate Crusader's effect again. which will allow me to pop both of them, and I'll be able to add from my deck to my hand the one card. And which one do I actually go for? I think I go for a Pendulum monster, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna add the Paladin. And now the effect of my Ignis Phoenix activates, allowing me to special summon from my deck the Majestic Pegasus, although I don't think I will use the effect here because I just need these cards. And I'm actually give up on the Secret Village of Spellcaster's Negate here. And it's a little bit of a weird play. I'm not sure if it's the right play necessarily, but it is a pretty great play nevertheless, so that's why I'm doing it. Now let's set the Igknight as an equipped target for my Sublimation Knight. Let's also activate the effect. You know how that card goes. And not gonna use the effect of Igknight, and I'm gonna directly go into Izodi by using the Igknight and also the Sublimation Knight. By the way, when you go and play against Izodi, you do not negate the first effect with Ash, you negate the second one. This is a bonus tip. Almost nobody cares about the first effect, so it's not really needed to negate it. Now let's special summon from my deck the Renault. That will allow me to activate Renault's effect and add from my graveyard to my hand the Infernoble Arms equip spell. Now I can use the equip spell onto my Izodi here, equipping it to it, and now I can activate the effect, which then lets me add one monster. And I'm gonna search out for a Pendulum scale of 7 monster here. I'm gonna go for my Templar. Boom, that's pretty great. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the Renegades Palooza using Fender, also the Zodi, and also the Renault. And I will Pendulum summon for 3. This is basically my plan. So let's set the Pendulum scale of 2 and also the Pendulum scale of 7, being the Templar. And now let's Pendulum Shokan for 3 bodies into 1, 2, and 3. Summoning these. Boom, bam, pow. And now I will activate the effect of my Templar, popping both of them, which will then let me search out my own copy of Tyrion Buwain. This is one of the really great cards in this deck actually. And I'm now gonna go into my Abyss Dweller using these two, summoning it in defense mode. Then I'm gonna also use 2 of my monsters here, and I'm gonna summon my IP, go into IP, and then I also have another really cool play which I can go for. Now activating Buwain's effect, targeting the Igknight, letting me equip it back to the field, to my hand, that is, to my Buwain. Now I can activate the effect of my Igknight and special summon it. And also when it's special summoned, I can change it as a tuner, but I can only special summon from the extra deck once. And I will actually special summon for my last summon the Borrowload Savage with 2 negates. And that is the absolutely toughest, best board that this deck can build, period. This is basically Abyss Dweller lock, also Omni Negate from Borrowload, 3 negates of Palooza, and the IP Nightmare Unicorn combo. If my opponent beats me now, I don't know what to say. Setting 1 back row, setting 2 back row. Normal summoning the Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Now activating the effect, to which I kind of want to change the Borrowload Savage now. It might be a risky play though, so I'm not gonna do that. So let's change the Palooza. Just because I want to play it safe. I also forgot to activate the Abyss Dweller in the draw phase, so that was on me here. So let's detach 1 and activate it as well here. And typically I could use Borrowload as negate, but I don't want to do that because if he has some sort of a board wipe or whatever, I'm just gonna lose the game from here. And in this case, he's just gonna be able to deal with Appaloosa potentially. Now activating the effect of Mitsu to special summon it, and I will also negate that with my Appaloosa here, which then means he has only 1 card left to activate. Unless it's some sort of a godly card, he's not gonna win the game. Activating the Tobari. Okay, so he will activate Tobari's effect, special summon the Mitsu, but again, 3rd negate of Appaloosa, popping it. By the way, he could have actually went and proceeded to the battle phase to attack with Hanzo and stop my Appaloosa effects. Not that it would have made a huge difference. My opponent is actually about to end the main phase, so I'm gonna activate the effect of my IP and summon my... Yeah, I wanna summon the Unicorn. Now, a little bit of an annoying thing is that I will have to use the effect of Unicorn and get rid of my Gearfried. Or I could just let him take the Abyss Door, but there's no point doing that, so let's just activate Unicorn, discard the Gearfried, and get rid of the Hanzo. Because he can also set like duplication, for example, and then just tribute the Hanzo and go into more plays. So that just stops him from even being able to do that, and he proceeds to the end phase. Let's normal summon my Crusader to the field, which will then let me go into Access Code. And now I'm gonna go into the one, the only, the Access Code Toka, which is gonna be my final play here. And I'm gonna activate the effect to gain 3000 attack. Wait, he has something. By the way, he might have Solemn Judgment.
Yes, sir.
Yep, chaining the Solemn Judgment, which is terrible for me, but it is still not great enough for you. And you just lose the game regardless here. Proceeding to the battle phase, attacking with my Borrowload Savage Dragon, and also attacking with Abyss Dweller for game. And this is why this combo deck is just incredibly fun to play with for me. I love this one. Okay, now I will set the Templar and also the Gallant to my 2 Pendulum scales, but unfortunately I did draw the Majestic Pegasus, which is a little bit... Dude! every single game. The one thing that stops this deck from being actually really good is Maxx C, and that is really hurting me. What can I say, dude? Pendulum decks, they have their own weaknesses. So actually, I will Pendulum Summon, which is a little bit of a weird one, but I need to do that, and I will Pendulum Summon my Sublimation Knight and also the Majestic Pegasus. Now let's activate Majestic Pegasus effect and also chain the Sublimation Knight's effect as well, chaining 2. And I will play through the Maxx C because I'm a Giga Chat. I don't care about the Maxx C, dude. You know, I want to prove that pendulums are good even though Maxx C is really annoying against them. Now let's discard the Durandal, send it to the graveyard. Let's activate my Secret Village to the spellcasters, and then let's special summon my Igknight, which will then let me go and use 2 of my monsters and go into Izodi with it. Izodi will then let me play the game for a little bit more, which will then let me get a bunch of bodies more. And this is the core card of the deck. Obviously, Izodi is ridiculously good in these warrior decks. Chaining Ash, bro! Stop chaining Ash Blossom to the first effect of Izodi, it is useless. You negate the second one, not the first one, dude. Oh my goodness, am I losing to these guys just because they have a hard drawn Maxx C and they have no skill? Come on, space summoning the Renault now, and I can activate Renault's effect and target my Durandal in the graveyard to return it to the hand. I also have 2 copies of Durandal. Now, bro, chaining Imperm to it. It is just ridiculous. He already used Maxx C and also Ash Blossom and also Imperm. And let's activate the effect of my Gallant, pop both Templar and Gallant to add from deck to hand. Booane. And I'm just gonna go into a bunch of bodies here and hopefully not lose the game.
15 minutes later.
I couldn't keep my Secret Village lock because he imported into Ash Blossom into Maxx C 3 times in 3 draws, so that's who can play through that, right? And now he has 11 cards in his hand, dude. Activating Code by wait, what are you banishing with this? It's not really worth it for you. What are you doing, dude? Banishing my Sublimation Knight. I am obviously not gonna use any gate, like trying to bait me with this or something, like I don't know. Activating also the Sorcerer Emergence. I mean, I won't negate it as well. I mean, this dude, listen, this is probably not a terrible way to negate Sorcerer, but look at his hand, bro. How am I supposed to negate that? There's no point even using anything to it. Tributing, yeah, bro. Tributing Mayapalooza for Gamma Seal, wow. And I will not be able to stop him. Space Summoning Defender as well. You know what? I'll just coup it. There's no point waiting for it. Guys, this deck sucks against Maxx C, but it's so much fun and amazing to play with. Come on. A little bit of a weird way to play. Wow. Well, it doesn't matter how I play it. Igknight's effect and space summoning onto the field. Chaining the Maxx C. Dude, that is absolutely the worst possible case scenario here. Pendulum summon immediately, but yo, come on, dude. Every single game, he's just gonna have a bunch of interruptions. There's no way I win this game. I can't do anything about it through Maxx C, dude. Okay, that was it for the video. Now, as we can see, this is a pretty cool combo deck and it's really good when you don't get Maxx C. Like, Maxx C is the only thing that's stopping you. This toxic ass card is basically killing my deck. Come on. But anyways, outside of Maxx C, you can see that the deck can play through a lot of interruptions. It has a lot of different lines of play that are all just cool and fun. And I would highly suggest you just try out the deck for fun. Maybe you're not gonna play in a top tier environment versus Maxx C, but you're still gonna have a lot of fun with it like I did. Anyways, that was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments below what you think about my combo deck and whether or not you would like to see more combo decks made by me. I like these combo decks so much and I've got more cooking up if you'd like to see them. As always, have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.